Welcome back, guys. Today we are working on the venerable 2014 Jeep Compass, and she's got the old ABS light and traction control light on. Unfortunately, I've diagnosed it to the rear left wheel speed sensor. However, on these cars, and I'll show you later, there's a little bracket. Okay, the lights went off, but they kind of come on. They go on and off. But anyway, there's a little bracket that holds that sensor onto the hub, and unfortunately that bracket rots off. It's very, very like thin sheet metal. That sensor can move around a little bit. It causes issues. I actually RTV'd it on, which I'll show you, and it worked pretty good. But it's time to replace it for real correctly. So I got a pile of wheel bearings and sensors in the back, and we're gonna throw them on here. So stay tuned. All right, so we're getting the car all put on the lift. Gotta make sure you put the pads in the right spot so we don't fall and, you know, turn into one of those viral YouTube videos, somebody dropping their car. But we're jacking it up, and we'll start pulling the rear tires off and getting ready to do the wheel bearing swap. Sorry guys, the heater's gonna be pretty loud, but let's see what we got for parts. We got the actual wheel speed sensors. They're not that much different. They come in very different boxes, interestingly enough. Got some nice new SKF bearings. So this is what we're gonna be putting on. So here we are taking the wheel off, obviously, and then we gotta take the brakes off. We're just gonna kind of inspect everything, make sure that it looks okay. Then we're gonna take the hub nut off, make sure the axle's free. Then we'll kind of go around to the backside, take off the actual hub bolts that hold the wheel hub on. Then we start swinging with a hammer, air chisel, whatever we gotta do, get that hub off, the whole wheel hub assembly, get that wheel speed sensor off, put the new one in. Later on, we'll probably put the new one in, but you know, just kind of keep going through the process. It took me a little bit longer than expected to get the wheel bearing off. Kind of had to work with the air chisel at first, and then I wound up actually using a bolt to drive it off through one of the lug nut stud holes, if you can look closely and tell. Really not too awful of a job. You can also see me hop into the interior in the back hatch area. That's to plug and unplug the wheel speed sensors. I don't know why they run into the cab on these, but they do. Not a huge deal. Okay, so the first side's all complete. Got the new hub in, got the axle nut back on. I actually still need to torque this and put the cotter pins in because I can't really do that without hitting the brakes or putting the car on the ground and going through the wheel. But I'm just gonna hit the brakes after. But anyway, my flashlight's dying, but it's just those 4 bolts back there. Relatively easy. I did zip tie this on. I broke the bolt in that bracket. The gas tank's right there. Honestly, that zip tie is gonna hold it just fine. It's a little bit of a hack move, to be honest, but I just don't really see a reason to try to drill that out. It's also at like the worst angle. I could weld a nut to it, but it's just, I'm gonna leave it for now. Gotta get this guy off. I already pulled the 4 bolts here while I was under it, so that's kind of convenient. We'll get this wheel speed sensor swapped out and everything else too, and the wheel bearing, and we'll be good to go. So, cruising through. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so we got the time lapse on the right hand side. Everything went pretty smoothly. As you can see in there, we did have to get the air hammer out a couple times and do a couple weird little things, but we got it done. The backing plates on this side are not as good. I was thinking about waiting and buying new ones, but I don't want to mess with all the parking brake stuff. And this is really just cosmetic. I don't really like backing plates anyway, to be honest with you. So if they rot off, I'm fine with that. To each their own on that. But we got this side done as well. So what I'm gonna do is get my car out of here. I'm gonna lower the car down. We're going to put a piece of wood between the seat and the brake pedal. And then we'll tighten the wheel bearings, the hubs, whatever. We've got our piece of wood jammed in the seat. I might have to do that a little bit more firmly, but we'll give this a shot. See if we can get it. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Hold on. We finish up torquing the hub nuts, and then I put the wheels on and the lug nuts. And then we are going ahead and just cleaning up the tools, putting them all away, and we'll then go take this thing for a test drive. Alrighty. Good news is Don't have the ABS and traction control light on right now. And we're gonna go do some testing. See if that holds true. Hopefully that wraps it up, but we'll see in a minute here. We are out on the road. No lights so far. I'm not gonna bore you guys with the drive on this thing. I will let you know if anything changes, but so far so good. All right guys, I put about 10 miles in this thing successfully. No lights, no issues. So with that, as always, thanks for watching. God bless America, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.